Okay, hey guys, what we're going to do here is show you what's been added to the dashboard. This will be the version V3C, and there's a couple additions we've made to it. The first one we're going to look at is the heat map. And remember before, when you clicked it on, you come up with a heat map like this. It is just for looking at. This is for your own information. It did nothing. You clicked it again, then you could use it as a filter over here, remember, on your buy, sell, no trade buttons, settings, and right now the default is 5, which that means that heat map will update. Even though it's on a 60-minute heat map, it will update every 5 minutes. Now, of course, with this here, you have to use one of the time frames that are up here, so you can either use 1, 5, 15, 30, 60, 240, 1440, instead. It has to be the number. In this case, it's 5 for 5 minutes. You change it to 1, it's 1 minute. You put it on 60, of course, then it's for the 60 minute. So now you can change that. Default is 5 minutes, which should work out okay. So this will update every 5 minutes. Okay, something else we've added. You notice we've moved these all, kind of squished them together here, because I needed to make room for 2 more columns here. Let's turn this off, get it out of the way. And the TS, I put a bigger TS button up here so you can see it, because otherwise it matches in with the other ones and you don't notice it as much. So this is the TS, and remember we used to have that X, red or green X, that told you you could only take one trade, you were in a trade, or you had already taken a trade, so you couldn't take another trade until that X went away. Well, that X now will appear over here in the TD column on top of this. So if you got a red, if it just opens up a short trade, just turns red, you will get a white X across it until you get a new candle. And in this case, we're on a 1 hour chart. So when we get a new 1 hour candle, that X will go away. Same thing as the way it worked before, except I moved it over here because I didn't have room. Okay, so now we've added 2 columns in here. Now what these are affected by, remember before when you turned on the take profit, it was based on the ADR. In this case, multiplier of 1. In this case, your take profit would be 64 pips compared to your 64 pip ADR. Same way with all the other ones. But when you had multiple trades on the same pair, if you were hedging or added more trades by using these buttons, this did not work quite as well, because this is always based, this take profit, the 64 pips, would have been based on the last trade that was put on that pair. So it kind of screwed things up when you were in a basket or you were hedging and you maybe had 3, 4, 5, 6 trades open on this pair. This, you could have, if you were using a stop loss or take profit, it could have closed you out depending on what the last trade did, and the rest of your trades could have been in the hole, and you would end up with a losing trade where actually you had hit your take profit on your last trade. So we've taken care of that. What we do now, we convert this 64 pips to a dollar value, which will come up over here. Now we can put on a trade here. Let's move this up to a 0.1, because that tells us roughly, remember, dollar per pip, but remember that's not always true. So let's look at, pick one that's a dollar per pip, which will be the Aussie dollar. Pip value is $1 on that one. Okay, so Aussie dollar, let's just take a buy trade. And there it took a buy trade, Aussie dollar, and our ADR is 64. And remember, dollar pip converts over to $63.90 because we are at a take profit of 64 pips right here. ADR 64 pips, take profit 64 pips, multiplier of 1. So it converts over roughly $63.90 is what your take profit would be. If you do a stop loss, it should also be at that same value. Now as you adjust these, you can change, that will change. See how it goes down? Because now the profit and loss always showed you what the total profit or loss was for all the pairs. All the number of pairs you had, either long or short for that pair, trades open on that pair. So this was always telling you the correct profit or loss for the total. Now these do. So now you're going for a dollar value take profit or stop loss. So it works now with hedging, and if you just add more trades on. Another thing now, you'll notice the stop loss red. It's red up here. It's red down here. If I click it again, it turns orange down here. It turns orange up here. Now it's a trailing dollar stop loss. As this price goes up, this will follow at a fixed trailing stop loss.